Alrighty gang, it's time to add to the Pokemon Mirror series. Today we are doing one that I actually ended up keeping because I loved it so much. I've been fighting a little bit of a head cold this week, but that will not stop me from creating more work. I don't know what it is about stained glass, but I have just been so addicted to it since I started it, and it takes a lot to keep me out of the studio. Anyway, this piece is based off one of my all-time favorite Pokemon cards. One that maybe one day I'll own. It has just gone up so much in value, but then again, literally all Pokemon cards have shot up in value. So if you haven't figured it out, this mirror is based off of the Coro Shining Mew card. I had actually been wanting to do an iteration of this in glass for a long time, and this actually worked really well for a mirror. I did do quite a bit of alterations to the illustration to make it work as a mirror. The biggest thing being just moving her legs on top instead of kind of hanging down like it was on the card to have a more opened area for the mirror. And as usual, we soldered the back first to make sure that all of our glass is flush on the front. Now flipping it to the front, we're not going to have much of a reveal simply because I have a lot of details to add. We're going to cut out the copper overlays using my Cricut. I use the adhesive foil setting to cut them out and then apply them onto the glass. We turn down the iron to as low as it goes so we avoid getting heat cracks. Now I have to apply the solder very slowly. You can see me checking the temperature. When it starts to get hot, I usually bounce over to something else to let it cool down a bit. Do lots of light strokes just to make sure that it looks nice and pretty. This is really when the piece starts to come together when I get all of these copper overlays done. Then we finish up soldering the front. For the next step, we're going to line our piece with hobby cane. Cane is made of lead, and we want to make sure that we give it a big stretch before we apply it. Since lead is such a soft metal, we want to get all the quote-unquote kinks out. This is definitely one of the longer steps when it comes to doing stained glass, but it gives you just such a nice finished edge. Now we do have this little arm and foot that are called hinge joints. They need some extra reinforcement. I just apply some 16 gauge wire at a funky angle to kind of give it a more sturdy hold. I had to start a new roll of solder. Quick side note, the cost of tin is going through the roof and it's making solder climb as well. You can thank AI data centers for this. I had some people request to show how I do the hangs for my mirrors. I do 2 twisted wire hooks and solder them to the seams. I'll later add picture frame wire to these hooks. This is getting long, so we're going to do a quick bath and then patina it. Then we add our wire. It is important that you use this method for hanging it because if you just have a single point, it is hard to adjust the weight when you hang it up because a lot of these pieces are not the same weight on each side. Whew, okay, that was a lot. Now it is time to hang her up. I did the mouth and the paw pads with Cricut vinyl. I wanted to paint them on, but honestly, I was just ready to be done with this piece, and Cricut vinyl's way faster. She's a cutie patootie, and I cannot wait to enjoy her in my studio. I look forward to making more mirrors with you guys, and with that, happy crafting!